r/Tifu, dear edit, today, I fricked up Tifu by using the nuclear option in a game of Monopoly. It was a 4-player family game of Monopoly. My brother, our parents and I were playing, and I wasn't doing well. I wasn't bankrupt or heavily mortgaged yet, but I could tell that, if something drastic didn't change in the next 3 turns or so, I was toast. I didn't have any monopolies, but I did have a couple 2 out of 3 properties, New York and St. James being the standouts, and a couple scattered here or there. My brother was the clear favorite at this point, with my dad in clear second. My mom was losing right along with me. It was my turn, and I was trying to arrange a favorable trade. I'm negotiating with my dad. I have a property that'll give him another monopoly, he has a card that'll give me a monopoly. We both have enough money and side properties to even things up afterward. With a good trade here, we'd both have a higher chance of winning, significantly cutting into on my brother's lead. Seems like it should be a slam dunk, right? But no, my dad is pushing for the most ridiculous trades possible, and outright refusing to trade away those properties that are most valuable to me. If I don't get a monopoly out of this, I might as well not even bother with the trade. I'm getting frustrated as the negotiating stalls. But I get an idea. A terrible idea. I say to my dad, "Dad, I'm clearly in the weaker position here. But right now, that just means I have less to lose. So here's the deal. If I don't get a trade from you, that gives me a monopoly. I'm going to sell all of my properties to brother's name for $1. Dad didn't like that at all, and there was no trade. He also probably didn't expect me to carry through, but immediately after, I sold all my deeds to my brother for $1, and my dad lost any chance whatsoever of winning the game. Dad isn't speaking to me right now. Was that a supremely dickish move to play? Yup. I'm feeling a little vindicated, though, for not letting myself be pushed around when I was the little guy. But will anyone ever want to play Monopoly with me again? I kinda doubt it. TL, Doctor was losing at family Monopoly, went mad and made dad mad. Family board games won't ever be the same. Tifu by swatting a stinging bug in my bed, barehanded. Going to bed yesterday, in the dark, something stung my foot as I slipped under the covers. As I sat up and reached for the light, it stung my other leg, then moved up to my thigh and stung again. Lights on now, I reached down and began swatting at it and attempting to swipe it away from with my hand. Each time I tried to find the culprit, it would viciously sting my hand. I discovered that it was hard and at least a couple of inches long. I was thinking scorpion or one of those giant man-eating bees invading the northwest. 3 stings on the hand, and I had located it. It was under the sheet. 2 more stings as I attempted to kill it, while it was still trapped. Finally and reluctantly, I pulled back the sheet, ready to deal with whatever monstrosity escaped. It was a damned sewing needle, sticking halfway out of the mattress, and I'd been repeatedly stabbing myself with it. TLDR, mistook a sewing needle in my mattress for a stinging insect. Repeatedly stabbed myself trying to swat it away with my hand. Tifu by telling my son there was a fictional being called the Pecker Snatcher who steal his junk if he didn't put it away. So my 4-year-old son liked to dance around naked after baths and while changing him. As cute as he can be, it gets old after a while, and if you've ever had a boy, you know how they can become obsessed with their peckers. I told him one night that, if he didn't put it away, the Pecker Snatcher would come and take it. He looked at me with some disbelief and said I was kidding him. I told him it was the truth, and that is what happened to his sister. His eyes got big, and he put his pants on. Fast forward a couple days and him and his sister have now elaborated on the story, and the Pecker Snatcher is now a man who has a basket full of peckers that he carries with him. and other elaborations on the story. All was good and well, until he explained the entire mythology they created to their grandparents and teachers. Now I'm the weirdo. Parenting is dumb. TLDR, I created a fictional Pecker snatcher, so my son would put his pants on, and he and his sister elaborated on it, and told other adults. Tifu by identifying the wine used in Catholic communion. This story happened in 2004, I'm posting it, because I was asked to by my family. This story is told all the time in my life by my parents, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm British with a Welsh dad and Portuguese mum. Mum wanted me raised to not be a stereotypical British teenager sneaking out lying about going to a mate's house and passing out from drinking vodka in a field. So she got me drinking tiny amounts of wine at dinner time from the age of 5-6. We are talking a shot of wine, no more. They learned their lesson after I got shit-faced aged 5 off of brandy, story in the comments. Me being autistic got super into this and wanted to try all the different red wines we had, and I asked lots of questions. It became a little special interest of mine when I was 8. For those who are unfamiliar, if you're not baptized into the church as a baby, you can do a combo baptism / first Holy Communion as a kid through Catholic school. I did this in primary school, so I would have a place at the best secondary school in my city, which happened to be Catholic. Like weddings, you have a dress rehearsal for the first Holy Communion, with the priest. It's a whole goddamn mass, except instead of 300 people in the biggest church, it's the 10 or 20 people in the ceremony and family / godparents to be as well. So being a dress rehearsal, there's a full communion with the wine and wafers, to be top like Jesus' blood and body. I was doing so good at being a normal kid during the ceremony until this part. Then it was special interest activation mode. See, the priest doesn't really expect kids having communion to drink the wine, they expect you to hold the goblet and give it back. Well, not me, and not this time. I swirled that goblet, sniffed it, said wait this is familiar, had a sip, shrieked, and turned to my parents jumping yelling mum, dad, this is Blossom Hill. It's that Grenache we had last week. My parents have never been so fucking humiliated in their lives. We bailed the rehearsal, was told to be silent during the real one, and shortly moved churches. I think the priest thought I had the devil in me and was some alcoholic kid, because the bastard tried to drown me during the official baptism, and there's a video of me coughing my guts up mayo. TL. Doctor, my parents got me an autistic kid to develop a special interest in wine which bit them in the ass when I got baptized and had my first communion at church. Edit. Due to a comment bug, the brandy story is an addendum here. Brandy story. When I was 5, I kept getting recurrent bronchitis. It lasted over 6 months. The antibiotics just weren't curing it, and they had to keep getting stronger ones. It tasted of fake banana and the texture of it was giving me autistic meltdowns. My dad could not rationalize a 5-year-old to keep taking the antibiotics, so he started experimenting to try and make it palatable. First he added sugar. Still gross. Then fruit squash. Still gross. Tried another batch with fruit juice. Even worse. At this point he was losing the will to live, and probably losing interest in me living, and so desperate times call for desperate measures. The final form of this ring of fire bronchitis medicine, the secret ingredient, brandy. Lots of brandy. Did I like it? Hell no, but it knocked me out cold, so it gave him the goddamn peace and quiet he wanted. What, the video is already over? Have no fear, more videos can be found on the channel. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like and subscribe. Who knows, you might receive a cookie.